You think you've seen dominance before? You think you know what it means when someone gets absolutely destroyed in that ring? Well, what Jade Cargill just did to BFAB and then Michin on Smackdown wasn't just a victory, it was a statement written in broken bodies and shattered dreams. And if you're not furious about how this went down, then you haven't been paying attention to what's really happening here. Listen, I need you to smash the like button right now because what I'm about to break down is going to make your blood boil. Hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, because this story is far from over, and you're going to want to be here when the fallout hits. Let me paint you a picture of what went down on Smackdown, and trust me, this wasn't wrestling, this was a massacre. Jade Cargill walked into that arena like she owned the place, and you know what? After what she did, maybe she does. BFAB stepped up, thinking she had a chance, thinking maybe this would be her moment to shine. Wrong. Completely and utterly wrong. From the opening bell, Jade treated BFAB like she was nothing more than a warm-up dummy. We're talking about a woman who has been unstoppable since arriving in WWE, and she proved once again why she calls herself the bitch of WWE. The power, the athleticism, the sheer disrespect she showed, it was uncomfortable to watch. BFAB tried, she really did, but trying means nothing when you're in the ring with someone who looks at you like you're an obstacle to step over, not an opponent to face. The jaded boom. BFAB crumpled like paper. Match over. But here's where things go from bad to absolutely infuriating. Jade wasn't done. The bell had rung, the match was over, but Jade Cargill stood there in that ring with a look on her face that said, "I'm just getting started." And that's when Michin made the biggest mistake of her life. Michin rushed down to check on her friend BFAB, showing the kind of loyalty and heart that we love to see in professional wrestling, right? Wrong again. Because Jade Cargill saw that as an invitation. She saw Michin's concern, her compassion, her friendship, and she exploited it like the absolute savage that she is. Now, before I tell you what happened next, if you're not already losing your mind over this, hit that subscribe button because we're diving deep into why this is one of the most disrespectful things we've seen on Smackdown in months. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because they need to see this breakdown. Jade Cargill didn't just attack Michin, she humiliated her. We're talking about a calculated, vicious assault that had nothing to do with competition and everything to do with sending a message. Michin didn't even have time to react before Jade was on her like a predator on prey. The punches, the power moves, the way Jade literally stood over both women with her arms raised like she just conquered an army, it was sickening. But here's what's really getting under my skin, and I want you to comment below if you feel the same way. Where was the locker room? Where were the officials? Where was anybody to stop this absolute carnage? We watched Jade Cargill brutalize not one but two superstars, and it felt like she had all the time in the world to do it. This woman is running rampant on Smackdown, and apparently, nobody has the courage or the power to stop her. Let's talk about what this means for the women's division on Smackdown, because I'm telling you right now, this is a crisis. Jade Cargill has been on an absolute tear since she arrived in WWE, and every single week, she's proving that she's not just another talented wrestler, she's a force of nature. But at what cost? At what point does dominance become tyranny? Think about BFAB for a second. This woman has been working her tail off to make a name for herself on Smackdown. She's got the talent, she's got the charisma, and she stepped up to face one of the most intimidating superstars in WWE history. And what happened? She got obliterated in minutes. Her confidence? Shattered. Her momentum? Destroyed. All because Jade Cargill wanted to prove a point that we already knew: she's incredibly powerful. And Michin. Don't even get me started on what happened to Michin. This woman showed up to help a friend, to be the kind of person we should all aspire to be, and she got punished for it. She got punished for having a heart. Is that the message we want to send? That compassion makes you a target? That loyalty gets you laid out in the middle of the ring? If you're as angry about this as I am, destroy that like button. Comment below and tell me what you would do if you were in charge of Smackdown right now. Would you suspend Jade? Would you fine her? Or would you do what I think needs to happen and put someone in front of her who can actually stop her? Because here's the truth that nobody wants to admit: Jade Cargill is exposing the women's division on Smackdown. She's showing us that for all the talent, all the heart, all the determination we see every single week, there's a massive gap between the top tier and everyone else. And right now, Jade is standing at the top of that tier completely alone, looking down at everyone like they're not even worth her time. The way she executed the Jaded on BFAB was textbook brutality. The elevation, the rotation, the impact, BFAB didn't stand a chance. And the worst part? Jade made it look easy. Like she was going through the motions. Like she was bored. That's not just defeating someone, that's disrespecting them. That's telling them they're not even worth your full effort. And then the post-match assault on Michin. Let's break this down because it's important. Jade could have walked away. She'd already won the match. She'd already proved her dominance. But she chose to stay. She chose to attack. She chose to humiliate. That's not the behavior of a competitor, that's the behavior of a bully. And I don't care how talented you are, I don't care how dominant you are, there's no excuse for what we witnessed. Now, I'm going to say something controversial, so make sure you're subscribed because I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Is Jade Cargill bad for SmackDown? Stay with me here. Yes, she's incredible. Yes, she's must-see TV. Yes, she brings mainstream attention. But if she's running through the roster like this, if she's making established superstars look like jobbers, what does that do for the division long-term? We need credible challengers. We need women who can stand across from Jade Cargill and make us believe they have a chance. Because right now, it feels like Jade is in a league of her own, and everyone else is just waiting for their turn to be her next victim. That's not sustainable. That's not good storytelling. That's just destruction for destruction's sake. Think about the psychology of what Jade is doing. She's not just winning matches, she's breaking spirits. B-Fab is going to have nightmares about the jaded. Michin is going to think twice before she rushes to help anyone ever again. This is psychological warfare wrapped in athleticism, and it's working. But here's where I think WWE is playing a dangerous game. At some point, the audience is going to demand someone step up. We're going to need a hero. We're going to require someone who can look Jade Cargill in the eyes and not blink. And if WWE doesn't have that person ready, if they don't have someone credible who can challenge Jade, then this whole storyline falls apart. Let me ask you this, and I really want you to comment below with your answer. Who on the SmackDown roster can realistically defeat Jade Cargill right now? Who has the combination of power, skill, and mental fortitude to stand toe-to-toe with this woman and actually win? Because I'm looking at the roster, and I'm struggling to find names. Maybe it's time to call someone up from NXT? Maybe it's time for a massive return? Maybe it's time for a draft pick from Raw to shake things up? Because the status quo on SmackDown is broken, and Jade Cargill is the one who broke it. And let's talk about the disrespect factor one more time because I cannot get over how Jade stood over both B-Fab and Michin with that smirk on her face. Like she'd just accomplished something great. You didn't accomplish anything, Jade. You attacked someone from behind. You brutalized someone who wasn't even in a match with you. That's not impressive, that's cowardly. If you're still watching, thank you. Hit that like button if you've made it this far. We're almost at the end, but I have some final thoughts that you need to hear. Here's what I think happens next. Michin is going to want revenge. And rightfully so. She was embarrassed, humiliated, and attacked for no reason other than being in the wrong place at the wrong time. This has to lead to a match, and that match has to be brutal. I'm talking no disqualification, no countouts, fight without limits. Because anything less would be a disservice to what happened on SmackDown. But I'm worried. I'm genuinely worried that even in that match, Jade Cargill is going to walk through Michin the same way she walked through B-Fab. And if that happens, if we get the same result, then what's the point? Why should we invest in anyone on SmackDown not named Jade Cargill if they're all just going to end up on their backs staring at the lights? WWE has created a monster, and now they need to figure out how to tell compelling stories with that monster without destroying everyone else in the process. It's a delicate balance, and right now, I'm not sure they're walking that line very well. Before you go, I need you to do 3 things. Smash that like button, subscribe to WWE Reporter for more hard-hitting analysis like this, and comment below with who you think can stop Jade Cargill. Is it Michin getting revenge? Is it someone from NXT? Is it a returning superstar? Tell me your fantasy booking because I want to hear it. What Jade Cargill did on SmackDown was unforgivable, and the fallout from this is going to be massive. B-Fab is going to have to rebuild her confidence. Michin is going to have to decide if revenge is worth the risk. And Jade? Jade is going to keep doing exactly what she's been doing, dominating everyone in her path until someone, anyone, steps up and stops her. This is the story that's going to define SmackDown for the next several months. This is the angle that everyone is going to be talking about. And you're going to want to be subscribed to this channel so you don't miss a single update. Thanks for watching WWE Reporter. Now go share this video and let's get the conversation started. Who's going to stop Jade Cargill? Comment now.